In this video, I'm going to demonstrate what I've learned about REST APIs and JSON. This is a simple CRUD app which stores an employee's name and their extension in an SQL database. So I can create a new employee, the name, and a phone extension. And the employee was successfully created. And if we go back, we can see a list of all the employees here. So if I click Show, that shows the individual employee. If I click Edit, I can edit it and I can destroy it. If we look at the routes here, we can see the list of CRUD requests. So I've got a get/employees request. So that means when I have this path here, /employees, then I'm going to get a certain response. So when I make this request, get employees, it's going to go to a controller called employees and an action called index. And if we look over here in the employees controller, we can see this action index, an instance variable called @employees, set to employee all. So it's going to list all of the employees that have been created in the database. Now for each of these requests, like post employees ID, that's going to go to the employees controller and the create action. So let's see. Let's look at the get employees ID. That will take us to the show action. So if I click show, that takes us to this path, employees/7. 7 is the ID for this employee. So when we get this path, this request, it's going to perform this action. So if we look in the employees controller, we've got our show action. We've also got our post employees with a certain ID that will take us to the create action. So if we look here at that action, we're going to create a new employee object, and we're going to use HTML to redirect to that employee's page, and we're also going to use JSON to create some JSON code for the object. And I've got actions for all of these requests, an update request and a destroy request. So if we look at our routes, we can see there's basically two types of routes: the employees route to list all of the employees, and each employee has their own ID. And when we perform these HTTP verbs on the employee with that ID, then we get one of these responses. And also, since we formatted JSON, we can go to the path and put .json, and we can get our JSON objects for all of our employees. So it's got an ID, a name, an extension, and a URL, and we can go to the individual employee. So employees 1, this is the object with the ID of 1. It's got a name, an extension, and a timestamp for when it was created and updated. So this shows how all of the HTTP verbs work and how we can use paths to create requests. and how to set up a response for that request.